There are basically three types of categories of riders that I think exist, and that is the casual rider, the passionate rider, and the psychotically obsessed rider. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm currently located in the northern part of Death Valley, somewhere off of Death Valley Road between the turnoff or near Ubahibi Crater and Big Pine. I don't know, about 30 miles short of Big Pine, 30 miles off of the valley. Behind me is some old mining rig. I don't exactly know what it's for. Looks like there's a lot of different colors here, so there's probably a lot of chemicals on the ground. Possibly borax. I know that was a popular thing that was mined here in Death Valley. This year has been a really intense year of riding for me. I am pushing 20,000 miles, and in that time there's been a few things that I've observed that had got me thinking a bit about what type of rider I am. Now, specifically, I've received some comments from coworkers, family members, and friends, and that really got me thinking about how do I categorize myself and what are those categories? So I came up with three types of riders. It's the casual rider, the passionate rider, and the psychotically obsessed rider. Now, in doing that, I also had to come up with what are the symptoms that you may have to help diagnose what type of rider you are. So I came up with 10 symptoms that I'll go over that will help you determine what type of rider you are, whether you are a casual, passionate, or psychotically obsessed rider. Now, the way I've broken it down is if you relate to 1 to 3 of these out of the 10, you're basically a casual rider. If you relate to 4 to 6 of these, well then I really think that you're a passionate rider. And if you relate to 7 to 9, then you are a psychotically obsessed rider. And if it's all 10 of them, then I don't understand why you haven't quit your job, stop doing whatever you're doing, and travel full time, which is what I wish I could do, but you know, life is what it is, you can't always do that. So let's get to the 10 symptoms of the different types of riding to help you diagnose what type of rider you are. All right, these symptoms are in no particular order, they're weighted all the same. Of course, you know, some of these are more fun, some of them are a little bit more serious on how much riding that you do and how they apply to you. So let's get started. The number one symptom to look at is how you look at the weather. Do you look at the weather to decide whether or not you ride, or is the weather only a gauge on what you wear? The only time that you don't ride is when there's maybe ice or snow on the road. All other times of year, regardless of temperature and any other types of weather, you will ride. Now, I also want to lump in there when it's extremely hot. You're the kind of rider that wants to see how hot of temperatures you can ride in and it doesn't bother you. So that's the number one symptom, is you look at the weather only to know how to dress, and it does not deter you from riding. The number two symptom, when you're out riding all day long, maybe you're putting 8 to 10 hours on the bike and you don't see any other motorcycles out there, that might be a clue. Symptom number 3, you always need just one more bike. No matter how many bikes you have in the garage, you always need one more to fill that void that the bikes that you already have don't quite do it. That is a very classic symptom of a motorcyclist. Symptom number 4, if you can count the number of weekends that you've been home in an entire year and haven't been riding on one hand, then that might be a significant indicator of what type of rider you are. If you think all riding gear is basically garbage because you're having to replace it every 12 to 18 months from the wear and tear that you put on it, that might be an indicator as well. It is difficult if you're riding all the time to get gear to hold up for any period of time. The wear, tear, riding conditions, throwing it on the ground, picking it up, the stretch, the crashing off road, all that's going to take its toll on it. So if you find yourself replacing your gear more often than you think you should be, that could be a pretty good indicator. All right, number 6. 6 months after moving to a new state or a new area, locals are getting advice from you. If they're asking you what roads to ride, where to go camping, how to get places, what are the cool places to go to. If within those 6 months, you're the go-to person, that also might be a pretty strong indicator of what kind of rider you are. If you find yourself replacing your rear tire every couple of months, then that might be a pretty good indicator that, of what type of rider you are. If you buy motorcycle oil by the drum, just so you can get through the year, because buying it by the quart is too frequent and gets to be even more expensive, then that also might be an indicator of what type of rider you are. When people call you and they can't get a hold of you, you don't answer the phone, if they automatically assume you're on your motorcycle, well, that might also be an indicator of what type of rider you are. Another really strong indicator of the type of rider you are, if you never unpack your bike so that you can, at a moment's notice, jump on it and take off, that might be a pretty good indicator of what type of rider you are as well. All right, what'd your score come out with on the symptoms? Are you a casual rider, a passionate rider, or a psychotically obsessed rider? Let me know in the comments below where you came out in this diagnosis of what type of rider you are. And if there's any other characteristics that you think fit for anyone who falls in these categories, leave those in the comments below as well. Now, I have one more bonus symptom to add to this. If every spare moment you are thinking about riding, researching places to ride, looking for new gear or motorcycle parts, wrenching on your bike, or simply out riding, if that fills up all of your time, that could be a good indicator too. So thanks for watching to the end. I just did this for fun because I've been thinking about how to characterize myself as a rider. It's taken me a long time to really identify myself as a motorcyclist. No matter how much riding I do, I don't always feel that way. So in categorizing this, it gave me an idea of kind of to see, you know, where things would be gauged. And of course, this is from my own perspective and how I see things and from the riding that I do. So thanks for watching. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will see you out there.